Were you ever or have ever contemplated being emo or a scene kid? Are the idea of tattoos cool because they look good or because they're painful? Have you ever wanted to kick down an unlocked door? Well then, you're a perfect candidate to play Grahatia! So the scientists at Wizards of the Coast sat down together and they decided to put the League of Legends character Zaya in a bottle, and then they went and they grabbed their favorite deck and they put a Layla in a bottle, and then someone accidentally dropped their Yowie magazine, and we got the best twink game plan that makes the thickest creatures, baby. You saw that? You like that? Let me get this straight. This is a little thing we do on this channel, and you need to get this through your heads. We play decks because we want to, and then I help you actually make it good and I temper your expectations. But get the point, you like the character, it looks cool, and it's in Esper colors. That means it's viable, okay? But did you know this deck doesn't play Thoracle? Call me crazy, only after you've watched the full video. So what's Gaha do? Whenever you play a non-creature spell, you can pay X life, where X is the cost of the spell. Make a 1/1 hero and put +X on it. That means when I commandeer your Ristic, I'm making an 8/8. That means when I cast Gush for free, hero, Deadly Rollick, Flawless Maneuver, Snuff Out, Misdirection, Force of Will, Delve spells, I could go on, and then I'll smack you with a hero. That's right, baby. We are going to go full Esper control beatdown aggro. There are a ton of cards that make this super spicy, and I've made a list that's a nice concoction of all of them. And to do that, we are dedicating 100% to this game plan. You are going to dedicate to your commander's game plan like your parents should to their marriage. So if you ever played Winota and you know how to commit to the bit, this could be a really good deck for you. I think a lot of your skills piloting Winota could be transferred over to Graha. But I digress. What does this deck do? What's our game plan? All right, number one, step one, cast free. Because guess what? If we can't do that, we can't win, because this entire deck can only win by beating people with the heroes that we make with our commander. So it has to be number one. Extremely close number two, like a Nissan Altima riding your bumper close. Control the game. Now, what does controlling the game look like? It means using free spells to make heroes to counter people's game plans, slowing it down with hate bearers. This is not a stack. Do you understand? You are not playing the stack. You know what? It's getting hot in here. Okay, number three, you are the village idiot. When you sit down for a game of Commander, even at a tournament, and you look at the commanders, people are gonna go, oh, I haven't played against yours. What does it do? And you will look them dead in the eye and go, I don't even play Thoracle. Show them the deck list. It doesn't matter. You are a full open-toed shoe game plan. You can see them dogs. You are Honest Abe. And you're gonna let them know that I am going to attempt to help control the game and make sure we don't lose. Obviously don't overtalk, because then they'll be like, oh, we'll just kill your commander and then you're our free counterspell buddy. Like, don't overdo this. But the idea that I'm trying to get across here is that if you can play up the fact that you can't combo and you can only win on your turn, people will forget about you. And that is exactly what happened when Winota came out. A lot of people didn't play the Kiki Jiki lines. It was just snowball stacks attack, and people who didn't understand how threatening that was let Winota exist and then died to it. Then, you know, people caught on and everyone kills Winota now. This isn't gonna be that popular. This commander's not gonna get overplayed to the point that everyone knows to kill it or will kill it. People are gonna say, see Esper. They're not gonna think snowball stacks. We're not stacks, so they're not wrong. My point being is you're gonna get to sit there, accrue value, stall the game, swing in, and eventually windmill slam coat of arms on the table, baby. But this deck requires a lot of very precise, very understood, calculated timing, and knowing what things to interact. Extremely important. So before I teach you how to play the deck, let me show you what's in it so that way you'll know. Daddy's got you. All right, let's do it. All right, creatures. You're gonna see something in here that we call a hate bearer. That means a small creature that has a great effect on the game. The reason we're not stacks and we are hate bearers is because within controlling the game, especially in CEDH, you need to be able to proactively control certain things. I love casting Draenith because it stops Breed. I like casting Opposition Agent because it stops Tutors. So if all of my opponents are attempting to do those things in their deck, playing this one card is more efficient and allows me to control the game longer alongside my counters. But you still need counter spells, so guess what? You gotta have creatures that draw you cards. Gotta have that Ogma, gotta have that Legishredder, gotta have that Esbozano, gotta have the Italian. All these creatures are gonna help you keep cards in your hand so you can keep countering things, keep casting free things, and keep making heroes. And it's not a bad thing, you can swing with them. And guess what? No Thoracle, baby. That's because we don't want to combo, because we want to play Aethersworn Cannon. That would be a huge non-bo to have tosses in here. One of the best things you can do in this deck is play a card that says Players may only cast one spell per turn, or even better, one non-creature spell. Now that's what we like to. So now the game is down to one spell per person. Everyone's just accruing value, and if someone attempts to go for the win, they're gonna have to remove this, and you're gonna have a counter spell to stop them. And no one's dumb enough to counter your counter, because that would king mate, because then they would be unlocked on their turn. And hopefully no one blows up that piece. You continue to accrue value. You continue to cast non-creature spells. You swing in and you win. Very similar to Anoda. One of the best cards we have in here is Boromir. He's going to allow you to stop the Breach combo because people aren't going to be able to play a 0 mana artifact, i.e. Lion's Eye, Diamond, or Lotus Petal. And then, if you still need the table to have free interaction, they need to cast something for free to stop someone else, you can sack them. Very flexible, very good card. Highly suggested. So one caveat, by the way, we have Delny in here. Delny does not work with the commander. It says we can only do it once per turn, but I would love to double up things like Esper Sentinel triggers and Archivist of Ogma trigger. Kind of great. And then also, this is like a super niche, stupid combo. You can ignore this basically. I was playing in a game and I had a treasure out with Grim Hireling. I had my Talion on board. I also had Delny on board. Someone was, I could tell, about to go off and start storming. So I cracked a treasure and I put a -1/-1 counter onto my Talion to bring it to 2 power so that Delny would make it activate twice, and it actually saved us the game because it ended up costing the person too much life to go through their storm turn due to Talion. Super weird niche interaction. Again, this deck's full of those things. Super tight. All right, sorceries. Diabolic Intent now has an insane amount of sack fodder, super easy, and if you cast it, it will make its own sack fodder, but obviously it's an additional cost. You can't sack the thing it makes because you need it to sack to cast it. But what we do have is Treasure Cruise and Temporal Trespass, and hot damn does Delve go hard in this list. If we fetch a little bit, play a couple tutors, have some things in our graveyard, delve it away, and then make these giant heroes and get value out of it. It just makes this commander so cool. And the one thing I've done is before casting my commander, if I'm in a game with a lot of Thrasios players and I see that I have Toxic Deluge in my opening hand, I sit back, I wait, and then I sweep the board with Toxic Deluge, then I cast my commander. That's why it's in the deck. Obviously, most of the time you do not want to be casting this because it will wreck your board, but in some cases, you can use it to clear the board and then swing in with your heroes if you have a ton of them at the end of the game. Or if you do kill everything, you can use Agadeem's Awakening to get a bunch of your stuff back very easily. Great card in this. Onto our instants. This is where the spice happens, baby. This is where the magic is. It's Magic Kingdom. So many spells that you do not have to pay the cost for as long as you either discard a card of the same color or have your commander out. This is going to be how you win the game, is through these spells with your commander out. I already listed off a ton at the beginning of the video, but you get it. We got Commandeer, we got Force of Will, we have all the free spells like Deadly Relic, Fierce Guardianship, Flawless Maneuver, we got Gush. I'm gushing about Gush. And due to the fact that these have alternate casting costs, and specifically that they are instant spells, that means on someone else's turn, we're going to be making big heroes. Hey, all right, if you ever cast Force of Will and you watch this video and you're playing this deck because of me, you are now legally obligated to cast Force of Will, trigger your commander, pay the 6 life, get it, because it's 5 for the spell plus the 1 you have to pay for, playing Force of Will. And then when the hero comes down, you get to say, big hero 6/6. Other than that, we've also just got a ton of counter spells in here. We've got counter spells, we got mana drain, we got everything we need to actually, everything we need to properly play control. And then another little, niche, weird interaction thingy I did the other day. Someone targeted the commander, I cast Saw in half, make a 4/4 hero, split my commander. Now they're no longer targeting my commander. I still have my commander. I let one of the copies die because legendary rule. And then I casted Gush, triggering the commander again because it's a new instance of the commander, meaning I am allowed to pay the life again and make another hero. It's awesome. Okay, artifacts. We are a control deck. That means we have to have a lot of pips, specifically blue pips. And so we are running all of the talismans. And then, as I said earlier, the thing we are going to windmill slam, Coat of Arms. Now, let's run through this. Is it actually good? Let's say you cast 6 non-creature spells in a game with your commander out. I really don't think that sounds that far-fetched. That has been my average so far. If I draw this card after casting 6 non-creature spells, that means I will cast it, I will pay 5 life through my commander, make a 7th hero, and it will now give +7/+7 to every single one of my creatures, which if you can do math, that is 49 power for 5 mana in terms of the +7/+7 part. That is insane. That is good. You should be playing it. We're not playing Thassa's Oracle, you're playing Coat of Arms. That's how this works. Moving on to lands, we have one piece of somewhat spice. We have Phyrexian Tower because we have a lot of heroes to sack. And if for some reason we're going for something that we need, we want to get Talion out, it's worth it. Enchantments. One of my favorites enchantments in this deck is Blind Obedience. Specifically, not just because it slows down the game, but it also allows us to extort and get some more life drain out of people. So they lose life, we gain life. Yeah, this is pretty good. Other than that, we got counterbalance to help slow down the game and control the game, and it turns all of your top deck tutors into counter spells. If you were watching last video, you would remember that. And then it's time to kick in the front door with deafening silence. This allows you to play all your creatures out, and people can only play one non-creature spell a turn. This is amazing. If you see this in your opening hand and 3 lands, you win. Done. I'm kidding. Do not keep 6 lands and a deafening silence, especially in C4. So now that you know what's in the deck, now you can mulligan, and I'm going to teach you that, and I'm going to teach you how to play the deck. So you are going to want 2 to 3 lands at minimum. The reason 3 is healthy in this deck, unlike other decks where you normally only want to keep 2, is because we are very pip heavy, like we talked about, and the games normally go longer. I would say even if you have 4 lands, as long as you have what I'm about to say, you could even keep that. So 2 to 3 is ideal, but 4 is fine. And then you want at least 1 mana positive mana rock, Lotus Petal, Soul Ring, something, or if you don't have that, something that draws you cards. Mystic Remora, Esper Sentinel, Archivist of Ogma. And the point is, with this on the right now, you can either cast your commander on turn 2, or you can cast something that draws you cards by turn 2. And then the other piece of necessary tech is at least 1 free spell. Specifically, we're looking for a counter spell. So an ideal hand looks like 3 lands, mana positive rock, something that draws us cards, a counter spell, and a free spell. That's lit. That's light. From here, you're gonna wanna play out cards that draw you cards, and you wanna get your commander out as soon as possible. Then, once you're behind that engine, you control the game and cast as many free spells as you can on the turn right before yours. Keep up the mana. So on the end step of the player that's passing to you, then cast Gush. Don't just do it on someone else's turn because you're digging for a counter spell. Let the table work themselves out. With this, you should accrue an immense amount of heroes and eventually swing out and win. Please let me know what you liked about this commander in the comments below and what you liked about this video. And if you can, go on to my posts. I'm trying to debate what to do next for this series I got coming up. So I'm gonna do a series about, hey, you pulled blank commander and you wanna make a deck. I'm gonna have a price point we start at, 20, 35, 50, whatever you think is best. That's what I'm asking you guys to help me decide. And then I'm gonna do an upgrade guide where you can look through your collection for cards that you may already have that you can put into that, or if you're willing to spend more money because you like the commander a lot, what cards to put in and what cards to take out. And it's gonna be a series on every single legendary creature that comes out, every single set until the next set comes out. And at that point, we'll stop that set, move on to the next set. So obviously, it's physically impossible for me to do literally every single one, even if I did one a day, because there's such a backlog of other sets. But I'm gonna try to keep up as much as I can. This is DefCat. Thank you for subscribing and liking the video and commenting, and come join the Discord and the Patreon.